So, welcome back to Jost Van Dyke. It is not April, it is not May, it's actually June, and it's kind of like middle of June, so, or early, yeah, certainly not early June anymore, it's the 8th. So, yeah, it hasn't been a video for a while, but that's because I've been trying to get my head down and get on with stuff. May was a bit of a write-off month because we had several other family things going on and wasn't able to get here. And then a couple of bits of progress were just slow and painful, so I didn't bother filming anything. But we are making progress. I want to show a couple of bits. One is we've done the hatch around. It's not finished, but this is nice. So we've got a nice big extra. So the previous one was quite short, and it meant that you couldn't get your hands behind to pull the hatch closed. So done that, and that created a whole load of work around the hatch and getting the finish. So that's good. We have cleaned, I mean, pressure washed, and Andrea has scrubbed some bits, and it is not an immaculate boat, but compared to what it was, wow. I mean, we've got some colour in the teak cap rails, and obviously some damage it needs doing, but I'll have a little walk around just how things have popped up and the colour's done. The damn birds still haunt us. But yeah, just how nice and clean and white, and it just looks amazingly different. Right. And here, that's where the core area was repaired and the head. So got the hatch surround to go back in there, and then I've got some new mushroom ventilators, so it was the same as this the other side, and as you can see, it's not really a mushroom vent, it's a bit broken. So I've got two new nice stainless mushroom vents to go in. So we've cleaned the booms and the spinnaker pole, pressure wash those, and a nice touch you can start to see from here is we have windows. All the windows are done, reglazed and in. A little bit of trimming to do on the butyl sealant, but they're largely done, so really pleased with that. There's the old temporary shore power configuration. So yeah, just a nice little job, you know, really pleased with that effort of cleaning and how that's come out. So dive down below, and this core area is just fantastic, it's solid. We also have solar, it's 100-watt solar panel, and I've got it set up. Don't know if you can just see under there, there's a connector box. So this is temporary, but we will have solar on the boat, so I wanted to kind of get a place to plug them all in. But we'll probably also keep this panel as an extra one when we're at anchor or just moored up, so I'll make a little sort of proper platform that it can be fixed properly to the boat, but it'll be a nice little panel to have lying around, or we'll get one of those suitcase ones that we can pop out. But yeah, it doesn't really fit. I wanted it to fit up on there, but it doesn't fit between the two mushroom between the two vents there, and it's not enough space at the back, so it's just kind of the wrong dimensions. But we can get slimline panels, and the slimline panels do fit here and behind. So I'm reluctant to fit anything now because we got no mast, and we will have a mast, and then with the mast there will be a boom there. So I need to see what's going on, because there are obviously options for us. We have a ketch, so there'll be a mast in the cockpit, but there are options to put panels on the back, on the railings if we want, or possibly to have the railings come forward and then have hinged panels on the side, so that fold up. But we could do that at the back as well, and there's a nice clear area there. So we need to think about that, what we're going to do. But hey, for now, super pleased. So let's dive down below, because we have made progress, and as I said, window progress. Just look at that, we're super pleased with how they've turned out. So that's, we had double glazed in there before, and all the glazing had blown. And so every single one of those windows came out, and we split the frames. You can see here, let's try and pick one where the sunlight's not directly in us, but you can see see here the join in the frame, and you can probably just see the screws on the side. So it's into screws. So unscrew from the outside, take the inner trim rings off, take the frames out, split the frames, which is obviously they're sealed in, so not always easy. So pick apart the sealant, split the frames apart, take the glass out, clean the frames completely of all the old sealant. Then this is 15mm acrylic. So we've gone for a single glaze, but because of the thickness of the frames, we needed something that would give us a decent sealant line. So that's 15mm to match the overall width of the previous glass that was in there. Because if we'd gone too thin, you'd have too much sealant thickness because of the frame width. So we had to work with that, but they turned out really well. And then even this front window, we managed to reuse all the hardware and the fittings, and that's quite a complex window really. So yeah, it was nice that we were able to salvage that and not have to remake any. We still have to do the top hatch. That is, I mean, you can see that's from the overnight rain. So yeah, we have definitely a big problem with this, and you can see up there where that's leaking in there. You can see the green on the inside, and in the corner where it's tracking down. So it's leaking from the glass to frame joint, and this has some frame damage as well. The sun's up, so I'm trying not to catch it there. But this is bent. I don't know if you can see up there. So yeah, that may not be salvageable. So if it's not, we'll put a piece of acrylic in over that and then just get a regular hatch so we can have it open for some light. And we're starting now, and another thing we've done is we've got these pieces of wood back in. So they're part of just the inner trim. They were varnished and they had lights on them previously. So we've originally. So we've filled all the holes and we've painted them. That's just a primer. And we're going to have grab handles on there as well. So we've got these nice stainless steel grab handles around the boat we've replaced the wooden ones with. And I grab one of these here. These will go up. Oh, let me get you in shot in this orientation here. So they will fasten to there, and then these holes, instead of the bolts in the end, there's going to be studs, and the studs will go all the way through and up from the back. So those grab handles will be solid and actually in the superstructure. Previously, they were just through these side panels, and these side panels are only held on with screws here. So if you really needed those grab handles, they weren't on solidly enough, and there was a risk that you either rip the side panel out or just the whole thing go crashing down. So yeah, so we're doing that, but these on is good as well. Another benefit is this. So we're starting to template for the side liners, the panels that are going to cover the side. So we decided not. So all of that yellow mess you see there is old glue remnants, where they had glued foam or foam back vinyl directly to the superstructure. Nothing wrong with that per se, but two things we didn't like is, one is the vinyl was tucked under the frames here, so it meant that we would have had to re-vinyl everything before we put the windows back in, and we really wanted to get the windows in before the weather breaks at the end of summer, and get the boat watertight, because that was a risk. But also we felt that was just a bit too much work, because we've got trim work to do down here and we haven't just quite decided what we're going to do. So we've decided to go for panels, and there's another reason as well, and I kind of will try and show you this here. So we got some batten material and we can space these off. This is part of the old vinyl. It's good because it acts as a little spacer to space these, but then we can get that nice and flush, so we can have a really nice flush look and finish on it all. You can see that looks nice and clean there, versus if it's back in and they're sticking out, just looks a little bit old-fashioned. So cut these window surrounds to each window. I've got them for all of them, and then we've got the batten wood. So what we'll do now these are in is we're able to get this up and modelled, and we can start the process of templating out for those panels. So that will be a decent job, but that'll be nice when it's done, and then we can take those back, cut them into the wood, and cut them out of the wood we're going to use, and then cover them in vinyl and get them on the boat. So that's a little bit of the plan. What else are we going to do today? Oh yeah, template the dark hole, but the aft bulkhead in here, that needs to be done now. It's a really big next step. So finish that, and then I'll go forward and just, I mean, this has been flickery lights, I'm sorry. So just to show that everything is done in here now, and probably, yeah, sorry about the flickery lights. The only thing you can really see that shows it's been finished is the tabbing that's been finished up there. So yeah, again, very pleased with that, but all finalised, done, tabbing in, sorted. So that is rock solid now. So yeah, we can start to get all the fittings back in. So I can put the chain plates back in now, bolt them through solidly, cut out and finish the hatch trim. That'll be today's job, and get the ventilator in. So yep, that's a little bit of a progress update. Oh, and yeah, I was playing around with some thickened resin. It's very nice. So there's the white is the pre-made filler I bought, and then I just played around with some thickened stuff, and I had a little bit of spare left over. So yeah, we've been filling that huge gap. Yeah, it's a mess in here. Tools everywhere, stuff everywhere, but you know, I need it all because it's what we're working on. Like this is the 4 hatches around. This is some bits for the trim on the side. These are blanks and templates for the side panel. That is the hatch itself. We got stuff to do. All right, I'm gonna go get on with it. Laters. Just packing up and getting done for the day. So as you can see, the hatch is back. So that's really nice. And if you look over there, the old one. Then we've got this nice new Vetus 80mm mushroom vents. So yeah, really nice. Sealed down well, absolutely lovely. Really pleased with the hatch, how that's turned out. So yeah, we made this teak base because that was the one that was completely knackered and rotted out. But yeah, and then it's been a lot of work just sealing the core and then getting this down embedded in. So yeah, really pleased with that as a result. So this part of the boat is watertight. That's the heads all sorted and watertight now. So finish the rest of the niceness off later. And then what else? I walk back. I'm going to keep the camera on because of how lovely and clean, well, clean-ish. It's not a clean, immaculate boat, but it's a hell of a lot cleaner than it was. Here are some of the templates. So talked about doing that. But yeah, this is for the heads, the bulkheads in the heads. So we'll get those down, get those home, and get the panels cut that we need to do for that. All right, have a good one.